The Democratic Alliance says it will intensify lobbying the agriculture and industry bodies in an effort to salvage the Africa Growth and Opportunities Act. The act has been a trade gateway for most sub-Saharan African countries with duty-free access to the United States market. The party also intends to meet with the American ambassador to South Africa, Ruben Bridgety, on a number of issues, including the current impasse on Russia. And so what authority does the opposition have in lobbying on behalf of South Africa that has an official government? Well, Steve Gruzd is an international relations expert, and he helps us now to understand this. Steve, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Perhaps let's start with AGOA, which is up for review in 2025. What is it that we need to understand about our relationship in the United States when it comes to AGOA?
So, thank you for having me. The African Growth and Opportunity Act is a unilateral act by the U.S. Congress, which allows products from, I think it's about 35 different African countries into the U.S., but there is a provision for, allows them into the U.S. at reduced tariffs, at reduced rates. There is a provision that if the country is acting in a way that is against American interests, they can be removed from the scheme. So the scheme itself actually expires in 2025, but there is the possibility of South Africa being taken out of this arrangement, especially given the recent actions on the Russia-Ukraine conflict, where South Africa has been seen to be siding with Russia in instances. So, on the other hand, I think it also could be a little bit of scaremongering because I don't think that the leader of the opposition has really any power to change something like this, whether one agrees with him or not.
And that's just it, because in a release titled, or rather in a press release that is dated 16 May 2023, John Steenhuisen makes it known that he visited Washington, D.C. 2 weeks ago to launch a campaign to protect AGOA, he says, the program which gives South Africa preferential access to key U.S. markets. I mean, who would give him that audience, given that there is an official government in South Africa that is tasked to handle such issues, amongst others?
Yes, I think this meeting would be upsetting the ANC no end. And I think it is a bit of opportunism and taking advantage of the situation. He can't speak for South Africa. He can speak for his political party, but his political party is in the opposition. They're not in government. Now, they may, in that press release, they also talked about the elections in 2024 and the possibility of a DA-led coalition governing South Africa, but we're very far from that at the moment. Having said that, he is and he is allowed to travel where he likes and meet where he likes, but I don't think he should be confusing the roles and responsibilities of the government of South Africa with those of a political party in the opposition.
And that's just it. Is it unusual to see an opposition party fly halfway across the world, be it they go to America or they come to South Africa, and speak on behalf of an official or speak on issues that should be spoken about by an official government of whichever country? So is this an exception to the rule, or is this a wide practice in international relations?
I mean, if you think about it, a few years ago, Muslim to Israel. And that caused a whole lot of controversy from the South African government because the DA had a different policy to South Africa, and it brought home the question of, who speaks for the country. Even, we have 8 provinces that are run by the ANC, and we have one that is run by the Democratic Alliance. Do provinces make foreign policy? Do cities make foreign policy? I think we're in a world where those actors have an outsized role. But yes, to your question, I think it is a little unusual for an opposition party to be going to another country to lobby for keeping a program when that party is not in the government. But again, he can go where he likes and he can do what he likes. Mr. Steenhuisen has gone to Ukraine during this period as well, and is making points that are pertinent to his political party and his following by doing so.
Yeah, that you can do what you like. because perceptions are everything, could it then be perceived that this is undermining an official government?
There is certainly the possibility of that perception. It would certainly raise questions from the audience that he's going to as to, well, why do we have you and not the government? So, yes, I think it can sow confusion and raise the political temperature around these issues, yes.
Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Steve Gruzd is an international relations expert.